Hello, everyone. There's a breaking news, and that is that INEC has removed David Mark, the national chairman David Mark, and also national secretary Rauf Aregbesola. They've removed them from the website as the chairman and secretary of the African Democratic Congress. Yes, you heard it right. The same tactics that APC have been using since 2015 is the same one they are still employing in 2026. It seems as if there is that fear not to allow ADC field a candidate, or should I say, or is it more like anyway that fear to ensure that Peter Obi does not run on any ticket or whatever. uh, Let me just continue from here. Let me read what Professor Chidi Odinkalu wrote here. Say, as I wrote earlier this week, there's a grand plan to ensure that any competitive candidates or parties are excluded from Nigeria Decide 2027. Josh Amupitan's INEC and the judiciary are involved in a conspiracy with the ruling official APCNG, that's APC, and the judiciary to bring that to fruition. The only party that they intend to allow on the ballot beside the incumbent is Governor Wike's official PDP Nigeria. That will not be much of an election. Whether there will be much of a country left thereafter, we will find out. These are interesting. Those interested in the article can find it on the link, and he put a link below. INEC says, accordingly, in order to protect the integrity of the proceedings and the eventual determination of the substantive suit pending before the Federal High Court in suit number blah 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 blah, that suit number blah 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 B, and is hereby granted accelerated hearing in view of the electoral timetable released by the fourth respondent. That the parties are hereby directed to maintain the status quo ante bellum and shall refrain from taking any step or doing any act capable of foisting a fait accompli on the court, otherwise rendering nugatory the proceedings before the trial court. Cost of 2 million naira is awarded in favor of the first respondent. So, earlier today, was it today or was it yesterday? That earlier today or yesterday, there was this protest that was done. If you see the people in the protest, half of the whatever they were carrying, placard was upside down. You could see that people who don't even know why they are where they are were literally the ones who were at that protest, and they were protesting to INEC that they have to remove David Mark, and David Mark has to be removed as the chairman, since the court have said this. That the next thing you know, within hours, INEC was actually removing David Mark and not recognizing. So what some people are asking, what does this mean? INEC has also said that it's not going to observe the Congress that that ADC is going to do, thereby showing that there's no leadership in ADC. And anytime that there's no leadership in a party, what then happens is that the party is unable to field a candidate because you don't know what faction it is. And so you might not be able to field candidate. And from now till all candidates are gotten is between now and May 23rd. May 30th. So this is April. So you have roughly 2 months, exactly 2 months, for candidates to be fielded in all of these things that are happening. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. It's just, the audacity, the brazenness. It's something that it's really, it's actually laughable, honestly. It's actually so laughable. Somebody here put this out, and the way he explained it, he said, nephew sued David Mark and requested for an ex parte order. Judge said David Mark should reply on why the order shouldn't be granted. Mark appealed to the Court of Appeal. Justice of the Court of Appeal say go back to the FHC, Federal High Court, to argue this case. No order was ever given. INEC can't formulate one, because that's basically what INEC is doing. INEC is coming out, to formulate its own thing and put it out the way it wants. I'm reading some of the reports that are coming out of this whole thing. It's just, you could see, just like I said earlier, just a whole lot of brazenness, doing whatever it is that they're doing. Somebody says that Tinubu is becoming lawless. Tinubu has always been lawless. It's Nigerians that just sit down and they are putting, whether, I don't know what we are thinking about, whether Nigerians are just thinking that, oh, somebody is just suddenly going to be good just because people are never good just because. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. This is There is no order granted by any judge to the effect that David Mark should not be recognized. None. INEC can't formulate orders that wasn't granted by any judge. Maintaining status quo can be interpreted as you wish. Mark was already the status quo before the case before, and that's the argument like this person, the presiding bishop at Dikwa Ifeanyi, is making. He said, because he say go back to status quo. Let me go and check for the lawyers in the house. Let me go and check, what does that antebellum means? Antebellum definition. Status quo antebellum is a Latin phrase meaning the situation as it existed before the war. So na real what we do. When I say that Nigerians are at war, people will be saying, this, that. So status quo antebellum is a Latin phrase meaning the situation as it existed before the war. The term was originally used in treaties to refer to the withdrawal of enemy troops and the restoration of pre-war leadership. So that's why you say, and then this one is saying the status quo was David Mark. And I did see someone who was saying to me earlier this afternoon on that case. He said that antebellum, if you're going to look at it and say, okay, it predates, let's say David Mark, then it's going to go back to Ralph Wosu, because that was the one that was chairman before David Mark. It's not going to go to this particular nephew person. But one thing I'll say to Nigerians is that this is the time to really, not, this is the time to fight. This is the time to stand up. This is the time to say no. And let me tell you what I've been saying before. APC and Tinubu are as scared can be. Thank you for watching.